Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today, more so with a reaction and dedicated post here, to actually one of the most phenomenal players in the game, being in BETARAYBILL. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have caught wind of this just yet, or if this information has been circulated, but it's another top player that's actually stepping down in the game. And anytime we have these situations, guys, it is actually, believe it or not, to your guys' belief, is that it's a big hit to the community. So being a free-to-play player like myself, and I realize I am in a unique position where I can make content where it can reach folks. Obviously there's value in my videos to be had. I do want to share my perspective, because I feel like this is such a divisive topic, especially when you see a top Kraken or top whale in the game retiring or stepping down their activities. I do want to point out some big things that are missed, and I definitely understand where obviously both sides are coming from, and this is a very, very impassioned community. But guys, let's remember, at the end of the day, each and every player in this game, we're human beings, right? We have feelings, we have different priorities in life, and honestly, it's not really any of anyone's business to how much they want to spend in the game, or how much they choose not to spend in the game, right? And I totally respect that. But actually, Taco Shooter made a really good stream on Beta Ray's decision, so I'm gonna link that below, guys, if you want to just hear it from him. But I've never met him personally or discussed with him on anything relating to Marvel Strike Force, but he just seems like a really decent guy, honestly. And to be honest, as a competitor, as a player that's always striving into the end game content, I've always respected and appreciate what Beta has done for the game. But I didn't realize how much he's also doing behind the scenes, right? And I kind of want to share that perspective with you guys, so that way we can really reveal the veil here. That's the insight here. That's what Krakens and whales do behind the scenes that players may not be aware of. They just think that at the end of the day, it's their wallets doing all the talking. Well, that's not the case. But yeah, big shout out to Beta. I've always in the past, when I'm looking at completing Dark Dimension, I've always seek to take a look at what the top players have done in their progression, and without a doubt, Beta being the first player to actually complete Dark Dimension 7. I believe he was one of the first for Dark Dimension 6, if not the first as well, but not sure what's going on with the leaderboards here. He was previously shown here before. Must be some weird kind of matching here, but I've always used his teams, or at least use his strategy at some point to kind of pinpoint what I'm going to be doing with my resource management, right? So that's a big shout out to Beta. And let's not forget, guys, remember, these players that complete Dark Dimension for the first time, they have a direct say in the type of rewards that come to this community. So if you've ever appreciated any of these celebratory Dark Dimension type of events, I know we're going to be getting a choice here between some Hive Mind characters. That's all thanks to the completion on some of these top whales and Krakens, right? If you guys have ever enjoyed the game in itself, whether it's a game mode that you specifically appreciate, remember, it's because of the whales and Krakens that are funding the game. And I think that's such a missed topic here, because everyone just believes that you need the free-to-play to have a community, but yes, you also need the spenders in the game to keep the game going. Otherwise, we won't have a game. It is absolutely amazing that the game has actually lasted this long the way it has, with the type of growth we've seen in the game, which as of late hasn't been much, right? There's a lot of repetitive game modes, there's a lot of repetitive similar actions in the game, and at times it can feel like a job when you're logging in and doing all your responsibilities. But remember, guys, the whales and Krakens are the ones that get insight on the game. Heck, similar to envoys, they're the ones getting information before it gets released to the public. And I do want to point out something that was a big win for the community that Beta actually had a direct hand in. And this information, it's really unfortunate that we were never communicated this, because it just shows you the type of perspective that they have, and the direct say in what they could impact. So if you guys recall with how Diamonds got released at the very beginning, well, it turns out now that initially when this was going to get rolled out, in order to actually participate in, I think it was like Sword Satellite event, you actually needed the 7 red and 7 yellow stars and characters to engage in that content. Well, That information, that game mode, was circulated to the Krakens and whales, including Beta himself, and they had a direct input in actually saying, no, that's not acceptable. Yes, there's a new progression in diamonds, but we don't necessarily need a game mode that specifically requires everyone to have 7 red and 7 yellow. And guess what? Being a top end whale and Kraken, they could have easily just said, heck yeah, bring it on. You know, I don't give a shit about the community. At the end of the day, all my characters are ready to go. But no, he had a direct hand in saying, wait a minute. You know, this is going to impact more than just the whales and Krakens. We want the community to also be engaged and at least have some sort of sense of progression, right? And that's what happened, guys. That's why I want to circulate too. Again, it's in Taco Shooter's video, but it's just information that we've never realized. And you know, unfortunately, at the end of the day, you know, some of the Envoy content can be misleading, right? They only hear it from their side as well. And I'm not saying one side is wrong or the other, but remember, everyone's got their own bias. So when we're consistently getting content from the majority of the envoys getting the footage or gameplay, they're going to be speaking their opinions, and then they're going to be circulating that content. We never really have a direct say from you know, someone that is a Kraken or a whale that is a content creator. That's really unfortunate, because you have to remember too, guys, and same with myself, right? Content creators, you know, we are very, very engaged players, but you know, I'm sure you've seen it from many others, including myself, is that, you know, we focus on content. You know, it's about entertainment for us, and yes, we have value and obviously experience from playing the game, but remember, we are trying to, you know, formulate or build up a business at the same time of being a player. So we're trying to do two things at once, right? And we're gonna have our own bias of what we want to circulate. And if there's videos that actually have more views and generate more clicking and action, obviously that's big for the channel, it's big for the subscriber base, and it's big for the growth of our channel as well, right? So I kind of wish there was more Krakens and whales that did content, or at least streamed what was going on from their side, because it is pretty biasy when we only hear the perspectives of the envoys. And I'm not discrediting them in any way, because I really appreciate all the information they circulate to the community as well. But that's why it makes this so hard, right? With Beta stepping down, and as well as we lost EvDog as well with the player voice movement, I definitely don't think it's been as successful as everyone says. But the point here is that we have top end players engaged in the game that weren't envoys, also speaking their perspective, collaborating with envoys, and I think that was the big meaningful piece. We are very well going to feel this loss. You know, in recent months, we lost Cerebro, who was an amazing community manager, and once again, we're losing a top player in Beta. Hopefully, maybe he changes his mind in the future to be more engaged, but I think he's also waiting on to see what's going to happen for this game. There's still new game modes coming. I'm eager to see what that's going to look like. I definitely feel the atmosphere has shifted a bit in terms of the tone. I hope Scopely and Marvel Strike Force get it together, because as of late, especially if you guys have been following my videos, let's see here, we got the new monthly event coming up here, MS for Mercs. I mean, this is just such a badly designed event, and the rewards are absolutely atrocious. Like, they're not even worth going for. I'm gonna see what I can do for the events I care about, but it is going downhill in that sense. Even in my gold analysis, that the gold is actually getting reduced as well. So we'll see, guys. Hopefully the situation improves, but again, I wanted to share this insight on a whale and Kraken. Remember, guys, end of the day here, Marvel Strike Force, it takes everyone to make this a community, including the spenders, including the free-to-play, and it's never going to be one side versus another. This is a community that we need to be together to help it grow. If there's any enemy to look at, it's the fact that Scopely needs to get their quality assurance together. They need to be looking at issues and really reviewing more closely before things go live, such as events, working on characters and so forth, before us as the player base, or even the envoys and as well as Krakens and whales, identifying these issues and circulating them back. And that's how you get real change in the game. So hope this helps you guys kind of get that perspective here. Again, big shout out to Beta. You know, I've always appreciated and respected everything you've done. Thank you for everything you've done in the game. Hopefully the situation improves, because I always look forward to your Dark Dimension content. And again, big shout out to all the whales and Krakens in the game. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today in the game.